Here's how you can create a high converting VSL in under 20 minutes that books calls, clears up confusion or objections, and makes closing easier without getting writer's block or having to re-record it 1,000 times. Over the past 6 months, I've analyzed over 20 plus winning VSLs, and I've created this 7-step framework so you can create a high converting VSL as well. Let's just jump straight into it. So, what is a video sales letter or VSL? A video sales letter is just a sales letter in video format. Crazy, right? But it follows the same principles as a normal sales letter. We'll get more in depth with that. But the goal of the VSL is simply to get the prospect to do the next action. So, what are the principles of a good VSL? What makes a good VSL? A good VSL must accomplish these 3 things. It must make the prospect know, like, and trust you. It must make the prospect understand and trust your solution. And it must make the prospect know that your solution is the perfect solution for them. If the prospect isn't convinced of these 3 things, he won't buy. So, how do you convince the prospect of doing these 3 things? Well, let's get into it. To convince them to like you and trust you, just don't be robotic. I see a lot of people just record a simple Google Doc and just read off the Google Doc like a robot. Nobody wants to hear you read off a Google Doc. I can read myself, bro. Don't seem like you're just reading off a script. Just don't seem robotic. We'll get into this later, but you can also leverage stories and talk about your transformation. Show them that you're just a friend down the street. Especially if you're doing coaching, they want to know if they actually like you as a coach, if you seem like a chill guy to work with. You need to sell yourself first before you actually sell the product. To convince them to trust your product, show social proof. And if you don't have any, show proof of system. Show that there's a method to the madness, right? And to convince that your solution is perfect for them, explain how your mechanism is the only solution. You need to have a unique mechanism. So, the 7-step winning VSL framework. Let's start with step 1, promise. Give your promise right away to hook them. Just like in a normal sales letter, your promise should be in the first 5 seconds of your video, right? In a normal sales letter, your promise has to be in the first 4 lines. That's like the golden rule, right? It's the same thing in a video sales letter. It has to be in the first 5 seconds of your video. They need to immediately understand that. They need to immediately know what's in it for me, immediately. The easiest way to do this is just state your offer. How to construct a good offer? Well, it's 5 steps. First, a desired outcome, or for example, book 5 to 10 calls. Add 10 to 15K in monthly recurring revenue. Make your first $1,000. And then add a time frame. So every month, in the next 30 days, in the next 90 days. And then include your mechanism. Here's the big domino statement from the book Expert Secrets, which is, if I can make people believe that my new opportunity is the key to the result they want and it's only attainable through my system, then they have to give me money. So, for example, the mechanism I use in my VSL is my done for you backend system. So, if I can make people believe that my done for you backend system is the key to the result they want and it's only attainable through Privity Media, my agency, then they have to give me money. Step 4 is guarantee. So, for example, or you don't pay at no risk to you, or guaranteed. And then step 5 is without the thing they don't like, the pain points, without you being attached to the business 24/7 and feeling burnt out. So when we put it all together, it's I can get you 5 to 10 book calls every single month using my done for you backend system at no risk to you, without you being attached to the business 24/7 and feeling burnt out. That's it. That's your hook. Step 2 is describe the pain points. We want to make them aware of their problem. This does 2 things. This will, 1, get your target audience like on the edge of their seat and make sure that it's only your target audience watching. And 2, it will just stir up emotions. It will get them interested, involved. Label them with a problem so you can later introduce the solution. You have to be like a doctor, right? A doctor says, here are the symptoms you have, right? These are the symptoms you have. That's what you have to say. Just say, Basically, be a doctor. Say, these are the symptoms you have, right? So the way you can do this is by saying, you're watching this video because you're at your desk 24/7. You constantly have to be putting out fires in your business. You feel stressed. You feel overwhelmed. You don't have the time or resources to be managing your back-end systems. You could be delegating tasks, you're wasting precious time on tasks you could be delegating, right? I sounded kind of robotic there, but that's an example. So again, just say you're watching this video because, and then list 3 to 5 pain points. Step 3 is a quick introduction or an additional story. So again, you have to sell yourself before you sell them on the product. If they don't like you, know you, or trust you, then they're not going to buy no matter what. So you have to introduce yourself and give them a quick story if you do have one, right? So introduce yourself, say what you do, say who you help, and if you have a story or a transformation, leverage that. 1, you can use that as social proof, and 2, people love to hear transformation stories. They like to hear stories, and they'll respect you more for it, and they'll like you more for it. Show that you're the friend down the street, while still remaining professional. You can crack a joke and just overall show good energy. You have to show good energy on the VSL. If you want good examples of people that have good energy on VSLs, I recommend the 2 that I showed above, which is Ben Bader and Charlie Morgan. The reason why those VSLs are so successful is because not only the structure of it, which is similar to this, but the fact that they show their character. Charlie Morgan and Ben Bader, they show their character. They show that they're a real person, and they make the person watching like them. It's that simple. Step 4 is show social proof. Social proof is the biggest form of leverage you can have. The more likely they are to achieve the results, the more likely they'll buy it. It's just that simple. Social proof is like 80% of how strong your offer is. So how do you use social proof? Use client interviews where they clearly state a before and after result. So when you're getting on a call with a client, just ask them basically, where were you at before we worked together, and where are we at after we worked together, and how do you think that you would have been able to get there without me, or something like that. Then just show quantifiable results you've gotten. So screenshots, testimonials, all that type of stuff. Now, if you have no social proof, then you must do these 2 things. They are non-negotiable. And that is, you must have a proof of system, because there has to be logic behind your offer, right? Or how they're going to get their result. And you must have a guarantee, preferably a performance-based guarantee. Because you have no testimonials, nobody is going to trust you. And the only way they can have some sort of trust is if you guarantee them that if they don't get the results, that they get their money back, right? How do you expect someone to wire you $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 when you've never delivered results before, you don't have that many results? So again, you must have a guarantee, a performance-based guarantee specifically. Now, you can also leverage other people's results. For example, I used social proof in this video. I used it in the hook. I said, I analyzed over 20 top performing VSLs, and here's what I found in common, and I created a 7-step framework from it, right? I used other people's social proof to make my claim stronger. Just make sure you specifically state it's not yours, obviously. Step 5 is explain your process or mechanism. So here's where you're going to explain the process that they're going to go through to achieve their transformation, or how you're going to get them the result, basically. Here's where you explain your mechanism, or your big idea, or your unique selling proposition, or new opportunity, these words, right? And a mechanism is just the vehicle that delivers your customer's desired result, or the unique system that's different from everything else that they've tried that's going to get them the result. Again, I'm going to repeat that because that's so important. A mechanism is your unique system that's different from everything else they've tried that's going to get them the results they want. So examples of weak and strong mechanisms. Email marketing. Lame as fuck. Nobody wants email marketing, right? But I'll get you 5 to 10, I'll add 5 to 10K in monthly recurring revenue by using my transformation selling emails. So much more interesting, right? By the way, don't use that mechanism. I coined it, all right? Ghostwriting. Nobody wants ghostwriting, right? Who wants a ghostwriter, right? You get pitched ghostwriting every single day. These guys get pitched ghostwriting every single day. They don't want ghostwriting. But maybe you tell them, hey, I can make you 20 pieces of voice branded content that will add 1,000 followers in the next month. Now that's a strong offer, and that's a strong mechanism, right? I don't even know what voice branded content means, right? I just quickly noted this down. Then you want to explain your process or your mechanism in a digestible way. So examples are, it's a simple 4-step process, or is using my 8-step framework or 7-step framework, right? Next is your offer or your guarantee. Just simply state your offer and guarantee. Again, here's how the offer is structured. It's what results are they going to achieve, how are they going to achieve it, in how much time, and in how much effort and pain necessary. And the guarantee is, and if they don't get the results, what happens, right? So here's how it works. The more social proof you have, the weaker your guarantee can be, because the perceived likelihood of achievement is higher, so your offer is more valuable, right? And the less/no social proof you have, the stronger your guarantee must be. So, and long story short, no social proof equals performance-based guarantee. Work on performance incentives. And if you have social proof, then work on a simple money-back guarantee. Or, if you don't get them the results, you give them their money back. Then the last step 7, is your close/CTA. So the most common and the easiest one to use is basically just saying you have 2 options. By saying this, you put the ball in their court. So here's an example. You have 2 options. You can click off this video and forget you never watched it. You can continue getting the results you're getting. You can continue being stressed, overwhelmed, etc. Or you can go ahead and book a call, right? That's an example of the 2 options close. You're putting the ball in their court and giving them the option to either stay where they are or start getting results, right? And then the CTA, just make the CTA clear and direct them specifically to do the one action, right? Which is just click the button down below and book a call, or click the button down below and fill in your details and join the program if you're selling a program, right? So, how do you script the VSL? Don't be complicated. Just use Google Docs or Apple Notes. Here's the exact VSL that I wrote. I wrote it on my phone, on Apple Notes. Literally, that's it, right? Now you have 2 options. You can write it in either word for word, or you can write it in bullet points. It doesn't matter. Just choose one you prefer, right? Quick warning though, if you're writing word for word, do not make it seem like you're reading off a script. This is how you instantly lose trust with your prospect. So if you want my free VSL template where I have 2 options, you can either write it word for word and write it down here in the spaces, or you can write it in bullet points down below. Then go down and click the link in the description to get my free VSL template. So how do you record your VSL? The one rule of recording your VSL is just don't make it shit. Don't record a simple Loom video with your AirPods in and you have the AirPod microphone. Like, nobody wants to hear a toaster. Nobody wants to see a 3060p video. Nobody wants to see that shit, right? It doesn't have to be fancy or anything. You don't have to have insane editing and production, but just make it presentable, right? Like you're going on a date. Are you going to wear flip-flops and like basketball shorts? No, you're going to look presentable. You don't have to come out in a $5,000 suit, but you can come out in just a simple shirt, right? So just to recap, step 1, state your promise to hook the viewer. Step 2, describe their pain points. Like a doctor, label them with the problem. Tell them, here's the symptoms you have, right? Step 3 is sell yourself. Have a quick introduction, and if you have a story or transformation to sell that, right? Make them know, like, and trust you. Step 4 is social proof. Show any case studies, testimonials, client interviews, or screenshots you have. Then step 5 is bring them through the process that of which that they're going to get the results. Explain the process and why your system is perfect for them. Why is your unique system perfect for them or better than all the other systems, your mechanism, right? So explain the process they're going to go through and explain your mechanism and why it's perfect for them. Step 6 is your offer / guarantee. Remind them of your offer, so what results they're going to get, and explain what happens when they don't get the results or what guarantee you have. Again, if you have no social proof, you must have a guarantee, specifically a performance-based guarantee. And if you have social proof, then use a money-back guarantee. And step 7, close / CTA. Put the ball in their court and direct them to the next action. Now, the VSL is just one piece of the puzzle. So if you're a coach or course creator and you're sick of getting capped at 10K a month, spending precious time and resources that you could be delegating, and constantly having to put out fires in your funnel, then go down to the first link in the description, click the page, and book a call. If you also want to see how I use the step-by-step framework to create my own VSL, then you can click that link down below and see how I recorded my VSL and put it all together. Anyways, I hope this video helped and you can take action from it. And if you're interested in learning all these moving parts, such as, creating your offer, creating lead magnets, landing pages, and email marketing, I'll have tutorials posted up shortly. So subscribe to stay tuned for that. All right, see you.